Good morning. How is everybody today? Hang on, I'm going to try to see if I can bring up our chats. Chat. Let's see how that works. Hang on. I hope everybody's having a great week. Sorry we had to cancel the Tuesday stream. So we had to cancel the Tuesday stream. Glazing with Amaco this week. We're working on improving our setup, and I'll bring the Cosmos to you in 2 weeks. So hope you tune in. Hi, Kitty. Hi, Diane. So today, you guys saw last week I broke the bird that I was working on. It was a purple, so it was not tragic, but I do have to make 5 or 6 more. So I am making some more birds. So I have my cutout. I rolled out a slab before we got started. Hi, Barb. And first thing is I'm going to use a soft rubber rib to smooth out my slab. So this is 25M clay. This is Amaco's low fire clay. It is a really nice hand building clay. Good morning, Tisha. And it fires to a not quite white, more like a light buff. Really nice. So, good morning, Tamara. So I'm going to start this. This is going to hang on the wall for those of you who missed the bird before. This bird hangs on the wall. So, good morning, George.
Good morning.
We are live today.
Okay.
George does not want to be on camera. Good morning, Christina. Drinking coffee, starting the day. Thank you for starting your day with us. So I'm cutting out this bird, and hi, Demi. Demi asks, is there a release date set for the new Cosmos series? And pre-orders are happening now, so talk to your local or favorite Amaco distributor about pre-ordering, and they will be shipping out by the at this point we anticipate them shipping out by the end of November, so they should be on distributor shelves in December. I'm gonna, here we go. I've traced my, hello. We have quite a crowd here today, although you can't see it or hear it. There's people here. So, I'm going to lay it face down on this slump mold. It's going to set up on there for a little bit. And these slabs are relatively thick. Uh, Hi, Janet. And hi, Doris. Doris asks, what is the rib? I have been looking for a rib like that. This is Cheryl Mud Tools rib, and it's a squishy, soft rib. So you can look those up. See about adding that to your uh, wish list. Uh, Sabina in Germany says hello. Did I pronounce that correctly? And Eros. So I'm going to make a foot for this. Oh, I also want to smooth backs of my slab. Now this time I'm going to bisque these before I put the underglazes on. So that I don't worry about breaking them like I did last time. Good morning, Sharon. Sharon says, in Texas, I watch frequently, but usually miss the live. Well, I'm glad you joined live this morning. Janet asks, what cone are slump molds fired to? Well, this mold is plaster, so it is not fired at all. You can fire your molds to whatever temperature you like. If you're going to make a mold slump clay over, usually bisque is fine. This one is just plaster though, so I'll show you. I think this is a little wider than I need. Good morning, Robin. Okay. So get my little toothy rib out. You guys know this one, my favorite. And I'm going to make it in a ring. Have my water and white vinegar. Notice I don't measure to put these on. I just eyeball it and then cut it once it's on there. And use just a basic wood tool. Lisa, what clay are you using? Clear or mid-range? This is actually a low fire clay. This is 25 Amaco. And I'll be putting velvets. I'll be the velvets on this and firing it to cone 05. There we go. You can also do this same kind of wall hanging with any kind of clay. The main difficulty with this is that it's very fragile while it's green. So when it's bone dry, it's just very, very, very delicate, as you guys saw last week when I broke the other. Hi, Kyle. Just in time for a little vinegar. Your favorite. I know you love the vinegar. Just smells like vinegar, Kyle. Let's see. Isn't this what everybody does every day? Everybody hunts through their tool, hunt through their tools for just that right tool. Good morning, Robin. I assume you're laughing about vinegar. So tomorrow is the Indiana Clay Conference. For those of you who are in the area, it's going to be in Bloomington. 2-day conference with demos. I'll put the link on the video at the end of today. Oh, poor Kyle. Uh, but two-day conference. Hi, Sherry. 2-day conference with demos and vendor booths and talks and more. So if you're going, I will see you there. And while the clay is wet, I can't really get too smooth. I'll wait until it's leather hard to smooth out the seams a little bit more. And I'm going to make some hanging devices so that this can be hung on a wall. And I'm not going to leave it on here very long. Probably at the end of this demo, I will take it off of here. I just want to get it set up so that it has a little bit of lift. It's not going to be a bowl, but I want the wings to curl a little bit, so when it's hung on a wall, it'll curl outward. So I'm going to set that aside for now. I cut another bird, and then I'm going to get some glazing done. Although I could do boxes too. Hi. So I have my slab. Use my soft rubber rib. This might not be a big enough slab. Oh, just perfect. I'm going to switch knives because I think the other one, the curvy one, is difficult to control. I like this. For those of you who uh, are in the United States, this is kind of an unusual looking knife, but this is a British craft knife. And I love these for cutting clay. They're my favorite. And I'm going to cut the wings on this a little different. Gesundheit. Okay, so I'll cut. That part's cut. There we go. Alyssa asks, can you get that knife in the US? I have never been able to find it in the US, but I know that at one point Falcon Tools was making uh, a similar knife. Uh, and it's sharper than this one. This one is flexible steel, so it's very, very firm with a rubber, like a hard rubber handle. And uh, it uh, I haven't seen anything quite like it in the US. So it's my favorite. But a few years back, I got somebody to bring me several from the UK. And like I said, I that there are similar knives out there, but nothing quite the same. So so I'm gonna let that sit for a minute. Actually, I'm gonna flip it over, smooth the back, add the foot. Hi, Ellen. Good afternoon from the Netherlands. I need to make a collar for this if I'm going to put it on there. Truck is from, that's what I thought it was, from the Netherlands. I do not speak any Dutch at all, but I figured that was what. Just roll out a little slab. I did use a slab roller to roll out the large slab, but Oh, there you go. Brian Booth says Mud Tools has a link. They have a similar knife. Yes, it is also sold out. Uh, that one, I'm not sure if that is if the Cheryl Mud Tools fettling knife is sharp on both edges. This knife is only sharp on one edge and it's blunt on the back edge, so I can push. And it's also extremely firm, so there's no bend at all, unlike most fettling knives. Uh, Hi, Lori. Lori says, I'm a potter from Troy, New York, doing hand-built pottery. Well, that is primarily what I'm doing today is hand building. Excuse me, gentlemen. Would you like to be on video? Could you take your conversation elsewhere then? Thank you. If you want to be on video, then you can be on video. But if you don't want to be on video, then sorry, I had some people sharing the studio today having a conversation. It was a distraction. I don't think that our guests could hear anything, but I could. So, Sharon asks, was it the change in talc or lithium in the ancient copper that caused the glaze to be discontinued? Sharon, I'm not at liberty to talk about formulation issues. I can just say that it was a change in material availability. And that is all I know. So hopefully we can create a suitable alternative. I'm sorry. Hopefully we can create a suitable alternative to ancient copper at some point. And I don't anticipate it being exactly the same, but I do hope that we can create something that is just as pleasing, just as popular, because, oh my gosh, we love ancient copper. We're so sad. So my foot just wasn't long enough. I didn't make a long enough strip. So, uh, please, could you put a translation in the video because you are a great company and beloved. I'm sorry to miss so many great lessons. I want to communicate with you in Greek. I will respond later, but what I can tell anybody who is listening and is that in the replay, it does have translation, but it can't do it simultaneously. So there is a setting when you watch. It takes a few hours for YouTube to set it up, but you wait a few hours, you can watch with a closed caption translation. And I'm sorry, I speak no Greek at all. George, do you speak Greek?
No.
So, so that is not something I can help with, but we will get translation going. on the replay. Elisa says, I just ordered the pack of 6 flux glazes. Do you have any tips when using them? Elisa, they work just like just like honey flux. So anywhere that you would use honey flux, you can use the flux glazes, the PC flux glazes, and um, they are great when layered. They don't move as much as you might expect them to, but they do move a little bit. They look fantastic on texture. They look fantastic on dark colored clay as well as light colored clay. In fact, I can't think of any clay body that they don't look good on. And like I said, any place that you would use the honey flux, you can use the PC flux glazes. They'll just give you different colors and speckles and things like that. They are a lot of fun and really lovely. My favorite is to put them on black clay or over a black underglaze with a lot of texture and just just fantastic the way they break over texture and the color that they come out. So one of our tech support people has been using them over river birch over toasted sage, and it's a really beautiful combination. So just try them out, give them a go. Any place that you think that they would be fun, try that, see how you like them. Yeah, the PC fluxes are so, so pretty. So this one's going to set up a little bit more before I put it on the mold. And mainly I put them on the mold to make sure that the wings curl the way I want them to so that they don't uh, slump downwards in the firing. I don't think that they'll slump. I want to make sure that there's a curve up. Hi, Susan. Susan says, I'm really late. What are you making? I'm making bird wall hangings. So uh, these are bird shaped, and then they'll hang on the wall, and I'll put velvet underglazes on them. Alyssa says, better at cone 5 or cone 6 for the flux glazes. They work well at both temperatures. I like them at cone 6 because they get a little bit more movement, but you can fire them to cone 5. Just, fire them however you're firing other things or however you like firing your honey flux, and I think that will you'll be great. There we go. I'm just putting a little coil around the outside of this. It'll be a little extra security, but also kind of fill in that gap around the bottom. So when this is a little stiffer and will hold up, I'll take that off. I'll put this one on there. Do need to make some hanging uh, lugs for these before I call them done. I'm going to make some thick coils. There we go, thick coils. And I will just curl these around and use picture one to hang these. Trying to decide how I'm going to, which direction I want them to go in. Slip and score, just like usual. Hi, Sarah. No worries about being late. Just putting little lugs on these. Can you guys see those lugs? Susan says, I'm really late. What are you making? I already got that. Okay. I'm rereading some of the comments. That was a new. I want to make sure that these are really well attached because this is what will hang them on the wall. If they're not well attached, this could just fall off the wall. But I'd rather trust lugs that are made as part of the piece and fired than epoxying something in place because the epoxy will be more likely to let go than the lugs will. So I always try to make hanging things. I don't want to hang directly on the clay itself, but I want to have some kind of attachment where as much as possible, I like the attachments to be invisible, so hidden in the foot, rather than holes going through it, but I do the holes sometimes too, depending on what I'm hanging, and, uh, I'd much rather have, things hang on picture wire than directly on the clay itself, if that makes sense. So I don't wanna have, like, a bolt the with the clay resting directly on a hanging bolt or nail or anything like that, or a screw. This is a little uneven, but paddle that in place and it's a little firmer, and set that aside. Hang on, move that over because next I'm gonna do a little bit of glazing, just a little. So you if you've been tuning in, you saw my sculptural bust that I was working on a few weeks back, and I made a test piece so that I could try out different glazes, and of course, I left them at another table. So I'm gonna try out, and I'll show you guys how these work. I'm gonna try out some underglazes. This is ultra black. I'm gonna try out some underglazes underneath a clear satin mat, and then I'm also gonna try the same thing over a clear satin mat just to get, kind of see what different effects it gives. And and I'm also gonna number these so that I know which one's which, because I will not remember. For all of those who are like, "Oh, I will remember what I did." No, you won't. Of course, I don't have my sponge. I wanna paint that on and then sponge some of it back. Why don't I have a sponge? Oh, well. So, I'm watering it down.
You want the sponge?
Oh, yes, that would be great. Thank you, George. So, sponge. There we go. So I have it solid and then sponged back and then watered down so I can see how it'll look. It's really pretty. I'm also going to do the same with blush. This is a light pink and it's very, very durable at higher temperatures. It'll actually go all the way up to cup 10 without any change. And you do not need to use a zinc-free clear. You can use any clear you want. It looks good with zinc-free. It looks good with zinc. It looks good with everything. And I'll do the same thing and sponge some of it back to show the white clay. There we go. Now, when that's dry, I'm going to put 2 coats of SM10 clear satin over the underlays, and then I'll put some of the black and pink over it as well as some other things and see how those come out. So I want to get some different effects. And I always want to test before I put it on something that I've spent a lot more time on. So I like to kind of see how that'll work. And this dries pretty quick. This bisque is very thirsty, so uh, it'll dry pretty quickly. The pink is almost dry already. I know you guys are like, wait a minute, Kara never glazes on this show. I do all kinds of things in the studio. I'm also going to try some of our other matte glazes and some of our matte PC glazes, like satin orchidea. And I might also do some underglaze pencil on top of the satin matte. Or I might do some under, but not right now. So that pink is already dry. So quick. So I'm going to let you all go today. And you can get started with your Friday or your weekend, depending on where you are. And I will see you all next week, or, on Tuesday or on Friday or both. And thank you for hanging out with me in the studio. Happy glazing. Oh, Sarah asks a question. What is the best time to use underglaze, on bisqueware or greenware? It really depends on what you're wanting to do. You can use it on greenware, and you can use it on bisqueware. That's the advantage of underglaze, is it works well on both. So sometimes I'll put it on bisqueware, sometimes I put it on greenware. It just depends on what stage I'm at, and if I want to get those underglazes bisqued on there. But I don't know. Susan asks, do you have a sample to show us? This is my sample. So I'm going to fire this, and then I will glaze my sculpture based on the information that I gleaned from my test tile. So this is kind of a big test tile. It sort of looks like a little top hat. But yeah, I'll be working on this next week because I'll have this out of the kiln by then. And I'll go from there. So you guys will see the whole process. So have a great weekend. Happy glazing. Have fun in your studios. Bye from Amaco.